Everyone, hope you're doing well. Today on Collection Lessons, I want to talk about scams. It's part of my Collection Lesson series. Anything I say on this channel is not anything advice. And let's get going. So when I talk about scams, I'm not going to go over like scams, but like I'm going to share, I guess, the red flags that I think of when I see something and I'm like, is this a scam? So it's mostly red flags, that type of thing. So the first thing, and I'll go through probably, I don't know, about 10, maybe 10 or so things. The first thing is, I won't number them. About that. Does it exist? Sounds fun. Like, does the thing exist? So, is it real? And when I talk about real, I'm not meaning like physically real versus like virtually real. I'm talking about, can they even sell what they have if they don't have it? A typical place where I think this is a complete scam, and I don't know how it's legal, is because if you don't have something, how do you sell it? If you don't have an airplane seat, how do they get oversold? How do they sell something they don't have? Right? So this is a seat of an airplane. How do you sell, let's say this plane holds like 100 people, but they think like that 10% of them are gonna bail out, so they sell 110, and then they pray that people don't show up because they oversold it, because it doesn't exist. The other 10 seats don't exist. I think that's a complete scam. So first thing, does it exist? If not, it's a scam. It's pretty simple as that, right? Like, and that's the other thing that leads me into number 2. And these, like, it's not like, does it exist? Well, maybe not yet, like a house. It's like you need to build a house. But like, I'm talking about like things in general, like normal things, like overselling airplane seats or tickets to a concert when it's like you can only hold so many people. And it's like, I get it, you want to squeeze as much money out of people as you can. Well, that's what they think. But it's like, you sold something you don't have. That should be a scam. That should be a red flag for you. The second thing is prepaying for something in advance. And it's not like prepaying such as like a prepaid, credit card where it's like an IOU and eventually you'll use it up. I'm not talking about that. Prepaying, I'm talking about like, when I pay for something, I want to pay for it either so the materials and such can get built, or like it can get built, like let's say a house. I don't want to prepay for something that they don't physically have the capability of making it. So right now there's a huge chip shortage across the world, and it's taking about like 500 days to buy some equipment. And it's like, well, if you pay now, maybe you'll see it in 500 days. It's like, no, that's not what you want. I'm not going to pay, $500,000 to get something in 500 days. That's horrible, right? So that's another example of if what you're buying or what you're getting, if you're prepaying it, especially way too far in advance, and if it can't even be done, and there's no guarantee that you'll get your money's worth out of it, and the price could change in that 500 days or 50 days or whatever, right? It doesn't make sense to prepay for something that doesn't exist. Another thing is paying for return. So when you put money into something, is somebody getting some sort of return on that? So one thing that I can think of is paying into, let's say, the bank, because I love the bank examples. If I put $3,000 into the bank, they'll waive my $10 to $15 fee, or whatever that is, right? And it's like, you just know that the fees are a scam to begin with. And it's like you're paying to hold the 3,000, right? It's if you hold like 200 or 2,999, they're going to take this from you every month. But if you hold the extra $1, that $1 is saving, we'll call it saving you this $10 to $15 thing. So you're getting a return technically on the dollar if you think of it. But it's like, are you putting money somewhere to get some sort of return? Not everything that does that means that there's like a scam there. It's like, if I buy, I don't know, this device, and this device makes me X amount of dollars, so therefore my dollars equals a return of X amount of dollars. Like, it's not saying like everything like that's a scam, but it's just a red flag, right? Just keep an eye open for that type of thing. Another thing is referral bonuses. How do you take someone's advice if they're getting money for it? And I know that's a sensitive subject and hot topic, so to speak. But think of this. Think of my other video, or go watch my other video, where there's referrals for getting somebody into it. And like a hype up sign up scenario. And that's the video that I recommend people watch, is a hype up sign up. Costco. Most grocery stores have some sort of referral bonus. Phone companies, I think I have in there. Are you taking advice from someone who benefits from you directly by clicking a link and signing up under them? And that's usually called an illegal pyramid in most cases, where they get a hype up sign up bonus for you getting into the thing, right? It's like, if you click my link and I get like nothing in return, like as a bonus or whatever, but you click my link and they know where it comes from, and eventually, like, let's say down the road I get a discount on something, or something happens, it's a little different than like getting pure cash, right? Because pure cash is just usually like a Ponzi in a sense, right? It's like, I sign you up, I get X amount of dollars, and hopefully the Ponzi doesn't break, like in Costco's sense or whoever's sense, where the bonus doesn't break them financially, right? Because they got a lot of, money. But that's just a scam to kind of watch out for. Is somebody getting a referral bonus from that? Another thing is obviously a high rate of return. Usually guaranteed. When somebody says something is guaranteed, immediately think of scam. Like, especially if there's a high rate of return. So I'd say like a high rate of return, this is usually like in a money sense or something. If something is like generally over, depends what it is, in a sense. It's like, if there's a scale, we go from a scale from like that to that, high rate of return, like anything over 100% is easily like a scam, in my opinion. 100% in a year. Just like if you put in $1,000 or $100,000, by the end of the year you're making $200,000. If it's guaranteed like that, it's pretty much a scam, right? And it gets like, if this was like a slider bar and you went like left and right on it, I'd say anything over like, even, I don't know, anything over probably, well, just, yeah, probably 40, 45, 50, we'll go 48%. Anything above that is pretty much guaranteed a scam. Anything below this is where you get less and less sketchy. It's like if the rate of return is like 1% a year, chances are it's not a scam. But it could be, especially if it's guaranteed, right? Some places will guarantee that. I think that the lower it is, the less scammy it is, the higher it is, the more scammy it is. They usually goes in hand with some sort of like locked-in time frame, right? They need, they need the money, your money, right? If this is locked in for 1 year, and you're gonna make, we'll put in quotes, make 100%, you double your money, but you're locked in for a year, chances are that's a scam, right? If it's 1% and you're locked for a year, it's not great, because you're hitting this red flag of locked-in time frame, and then like guaranteed return, but it's not like a huge red flag to me. Something like this would be more like an RSP, right? It's locked in, but it's not, and there's some sort of rate of return. I think RSPs are pretty much scams, just my opinion. They can obviously be used for tax advantages and whatever, but I just like liquid funds, things that I can take in and out as I need to, rather than like a locked-in pension for 50 years, right? And it's like, because what, people can't self-control their spending to invest, that type of thing themselves. It's like the value of that dollar is going to be way less in 50 years when you have to use the pension than it is right now. That's why I think it's a scam. It's locked in. I can't take it out, which is a huge red flag to me. Especially for like freaking till you're 65. Come on. So next thing. Under the table deals. If things are under the table, chances are there's something scammy going on there, right? Think of under the table like, I don't know, a salesman, let's say, mowing your lawn. And it's like, hey man, if I'll come and do your lawn for like half price, right? If you just call me directly, and I won't mention to the company, I'll just do your lawn. It's like there's something sketchy there. Like, why does he not want to do it with the company? Is it like he's trying to, you know, what do you call that when you take away clients from, you know, that business to start up your own? Or is there malicious intent? You know, it's a red flag, right? Something under the table, cash. Like, depends if it's like a cash transaction. Like if I go buy a car with cash, it's not under the table. It's just not using their financing, right? But it's like, if I say to the dealership and I say to the guy selling it to me, say, hey man, if you get your employee discount to take $2,000 off that, and then I buy it from you privately under the table, that's kind of sketchy. That's a red flag for me. Like, I'm not going to do that. That's a scam in my opinion, right? There's either protection lost or warranty lost or something going on there that I just don't like, right? So that's one, you know, example of that. Limited time offers, always. One of my favorite, non-favorite home stores, or stores in general, Canadian Tire. For some reason, whenever you go there and you go to Canadian Tire, you look at their tool section, you'll see like a $700 tool set for like $200, and you're like, this is a good deal. People use them as marketing tactics. I think it's a scam. And it's not like a scam like, oh, they're taking your money and not giving you the tool. It's more like it's playing Jedi mind tricks on you, right? It's like it's not honest. It's scamming, right? It's people do this all the time. It's not just like Canadian Tire. It's like, you know, people will be like, oh, this one-time deal, limited time only for this amount of days, and then it's like, and phone companies and other ones do this too, where it's like they put something on sale, like a phone. You're like, oh, it's a good deal, and then you get it, and it's like, let's say, I don't know, $1,000 phone that's on sale for like, I don't know, $700, $600. You're like, that's a good deal. I'm saving $300, and then like you look a month later, and the phone just dropped price to that price, and it's like they were just getting rid of inventory. Like, there was no benefit at all. It was always that price. I was overpaying before, right? That's the other thing. Another thing is, where does the money come from? This is one that I always question whenever somebody is like, you know, where does the money come from? If I give you $1,000 and you're going to give me back $1,100 in a month, how are you gonna do that? Money just doesn't print from your pocket; it prints from the government. But like, where's the money come from, right? It's like if I lock in this, you know, number for this whatever, where does the money come? Is my next question in that, you know, question. Is it like some secret trading bot that you're never going to hear from again when they take off with your money? You know, is it like they need your money specifically to do this one thing because they need your money, not their money? You know, where does the money come from? That's just a general question you should ask anybody that like tries to give you deals or whatever. It's like, if I give you X amount of dollars and you give me X back, where's the money coming from? Even the government, when they print money, it's like, where's that money come from? Well, it's coming out of taxpayers' dollars, and it's coming out of, you know, lower class, middle class citizens, where we don't have investments that are shooting up 80,000% a year, and it's like we're all paying for it through the devaluation of the dollar. You know, where's that money come? And the last thing that I think for this video, contracts. I think contracts where you get locked in to certain things for X amount of time are definite scams. Everything these days, especially in this like new age of technology, there shouldn't be contracts anymore. Contracts like, you know, a mortgage, let's say, contract, or, you know, contract like a separation contract, or you know, contract between you and a workplace. Those things are okay. They're not bad. But like contracts where it's like, you're sticking with me, the phone provider X, for 2 years, or it's going to cost you a crap ton of money, there should be a no contract option. And usually there is for phone companies. but like things where there isn't, you know, or things like I'm looking at my furnace right now. I'm sure there's somewhere in the city that I can get a contract to get a furnace for a little, put in quotes, cheaper, but I'm stuck with them and I have to pay them X amount of dollars per, you know, month or whatever. Kind of like a lease or like that type of thing, but like it's just a scammy type of thing. You know, they're looking for like dividends from my previous video. They're looking for like return on returns. And it just seems like, give me all your money, and it just seems scammy to me. So, anyway, that's what I wanted to share with this video. It's just some red flags, some scams. You know, I've seen them, I've been through some of these. They're not great, and I hope to never go through them again, and that's why I'm sharing these videos. So, hope you guys are doing well. Thanks, and talk soon.